3.
Hi, we are from Team Innovators and we'll be presenting a project on the airline industry. The airline reservation system is one of the most important database systems that we are currently using. It is an example of a transaction processing system. A transaction processing system is a system where the database hosts a large number of data and also a concurrent number of users. The transaction uses submit queries such as um, to include a data or edit the data or delete the data. This system, when paired up with an user example like the airline reservation system, can be used for several different number of purposes, such as booking an airline, deleting an ticket, or modifying a ticket. So, introduction. So, the airline industry has a lot of uses. So, our main goal is to create a airline ticket reservation system using the database processing transaction system. So several number of use case applications can be developed based on this. For example, we could book a ticket for a user from one destination to another destination depending upon the availability of the flight and the seat in the flight. So in order to do so, we require several different number of constraints and relationship checks. These can be achieved by uh, submitting efficient queries to the database. So 5 important features that our database will cover. For example, it will give the seat number for a particular passenger departing from airport X on date Z. It will show the total distance covered between the source and the destination. It will show the available number of seats for a given plane. It will show the total cost of the flight. It will show the highest seating capacity for a particular airline. It will show the number of customers that are reserved through the system. The design constraints. In order to design a successful database application, we need to have some kind of constraint. In our application, we have constraints such as having a multi-valuable attribute for a address column, and constraints such as an aeroplane seat cannot exist without an aeroplane. A single seat will be reserved for a single traveler, and the user can book multiple flight trips. There are several more number of constraints. So in total, we have 13 number of tables, and each table has its own columns and primary key and foreign key. Next, talking about the relationships, there are three kind of relationship: one-to-many, one-to-one, and many-to-many. For example, a one-to-one relationship is where a single user has a single seat reserved for them. A one-to-many relationship is when many number of seats is associated to a single plane. A many-to-many relationship is where many number of aeroplanes can be associated with different number of airports. The relationship can be more detailedly explained as such. An airport can have multiple aeroplane and an aeroplane can have multiple airport. This is called an end-to-end relationship. And studying more, we get the remaining of the relationships. Next, coming to the conceptual model, this shows the different number of tables that we have and its associated columns. In the logical model, we have the tables and the columns associated with each table along with the data type, and the primary key and the foreign key explain with the relationship across these tables. Next, Avinash will continue.
So now we are going to see about the tables and the primary keys associated with each table. So we have, as Shrey said, we have 13 tables: the airport, airline company, airplane, access, and it goes on till as hope. So every table has a primary key which is unique, and it is used to identify the each record in a table. So with this, we create a database. The name of a database is airline reservation. So this is a query used to run our database. So for each table, we have a create statement to create the table, and there are several insert statement to insert all the records into the table. So after inserting all the records, we can do multiple transactions on the tables. So these are tables with create and insert statements for each table. So now let us look what our database will answer for the 5 questions. So our first question is, what is the seat number of a traveler departing from airport X on a date Z? So let us assume that there is a traveler called Avinash who's traveling from DFW airport on 12th of 26th of December. So this will query will result the seat number with the given parameters, that is the name of the passenger and the airport DFW with a particular depart time. So the next question is, what is the travel distance between the source and destination airport? So here we have considered as example of the distance between the CLT and DFW airport. So the distance obtained is shown here in this query, that is 600 kilometers. And the third question is, what are the available seat numbers for a particular class in a given airplane? So for a particular airplane, they can have an economy class or business class or more like upper economy class. So we have taken the economic class for the plane number A851. So these two are the seat numbers which are associated with airplane A851 and has an economic class. So these seats are available. So it is marked as true. And the fourth question is, what is the total cost of travel for passenger with seat number X traveling in airplane Y? So for this example, we have taken a passenger in seat number A23 of airplane AA751. So final amount will be the total cost of the travel for that passenger. So for this we have joined two tables, that is the fare table and the traveler itinerary table. So from travel itinerary table we get the airplane and the seat number, and from the flight table we get the flight trip ID. So we join these two tables and get the final amount from flight table. Yeah, from flight table. So this is the total amount the traveler needs to pay for the trip. So the fifth question is, which airline has the highest seating capacity? So we have sorted the entire record of airplane based on the seating capacity in descending order. So this will show all the airplanes in order of seating capacity from highest at the first and lowest at the bottom. So here you can look at that. AA851 has the highest capacity. And the sixth question is, how many customers have enrolled in the airline reservation system? So in airline reservation system, we have normal users and agents who can book an airline. So here we have taken a type of user as normal. So we have grouped all the users and counted each of the normal users. So we got a result of 4. So there are 4 normal users who have booked enrolled in the airline reservation system. So the next part is the NoSQL part, which will be done by Sharath.
Actually, we have done some table queries. So first is the join. So we basically joined two tables. We can better see it in a SQL Server. So here you can see we have done a inner join where we are joining two tables. One is a flight trip and other is end user. So after joining the two results based on a user email ID, we are getting the following table. Next, we are going to see a stored procedure. So in this stored procedure, we are passing three inputs. One is airline arrival airport, departure airport, and depart time. So based on this, we are seeing that these three users have been traveling in that particular airport and on a particular date. CT. So in CT, we have developed a query. In here, we can see we have used a flight CTE, which is from a flight table. So we can use a CTE as a temporary table to list out these functions and trigger. So for the trigger, we have created end user audits as an insert table. So whenever we insert a value to the end user, it gets automatically inserted and it can be shown using end user credits. So this record have been inserted in that end user table. So the trigger automatically inserted into another table. So user table functions by which we can return a table. So we are passing the input parameter and we can see a table has been returned from a user table function. And here comes the last part, NoSQL. So we are using two tables, flight trip and end user, and we are converting it into a JSON format. Sorry. Yeah, so we got it. So we can see this JSON in a JSON viewer format. So here is our JSON file. We have linked two tables, and here is our JSON file. So from this JSON, we have created a bucket. So our ticket is our bucket. You can view the configurations and the documents inserted in the R ticket from the JSON file. And in analytics, we have listed out. So this is our data set, which we inserted using that JSON file. Again, this is our second query to doing an analytic operation on JSON file. So this is our output. And finally, if we have to retrieve a user based on a particular email, based on this email, we are going to perform, and this is our output. We retrieved a user based on his email. Yeah. So we have explained NoSQL part, and by this we successfully learned to do a database implementation, and yeah, by this we formed a airline industry database. So we also learned two types of databases like SQL in SQL Server and NoSQL in Couchbase. Yeah, and these are the links we use to refer. Yeah, thank you.